hat Indra versucht, das Land von Vrindavan zu überfluten. Und die Einwohner von Vrindavan haben gesagt, Krishna, Balaram, das haben wir jetzt davon, ha? Weil wir Indra nicht sein Opfer dargebracht haben, jetzt ist er zornig. Und dann hat Krishna gesagt, ich beschütze euch immer, oder? Und wenn Giriraj unsere Zuflucht ist und uns alles gibt, was wir brauchen, gibt er uns auch jetzt, was wir brauchen. Und da hat er den Berg angefangen hochzuheben, auf den kleinen Finger seiner linken Hand. Und er war ungefähr, wie alt war er ungefähr, Charu? Wer ist noch 7? Ja, genau, steh mal auf. Steh mal auf. So ein Knopf. Wo ist deine linke Hand? Okay, genau. Und der kleine Finger hoch. Ah, genau. So hat Krishna den Govardhan-Hügel hochgehoben. Ne? Und die alten Kuhhirtenjungs haben gesagt, ja, das kannst du doch gar nicht alleine halten, wir helfen dir mal. Du kannst dich mal ausruhen. Und da hat Krishna losgelassen. Und oh, ja. Und okay, haben sie schnell wieder den Hügel hochgehoben. Ne? Und 7 Tage und 7 Nächte sind sie unter diesen Hügel gewesen. Und hatten einfach eine super Party, haben nur Krishna angeguckt und waren vollkommen zufrieden. Kein Hunger, kein Durst. Genau, Krishna hat einfach Flöte gespielt. Und Indra hat versucht, alles um diesen Hügel kaputt zu machen. Nichts hat funktioniert. Wo Krishna seine Hand dran hält, das wird zum ewigen Schutz für die Devotees. So, und dann ist Indra, irgendwann hat er gecheckt, irgendwas ist hier faul. Ja, dieser kleine Junge, der die Einwohner von Vrindavan, kann ich wieder hinsetzen, Charu, danke, der die Einwohner von Vrindavan verwirrt hat, der kann nicht bloß ein kleiner Mystiker sein oder ein kleiner Junge, sondern das ist mein Herr, mein Krishna. Und dann ist er gekommen, weil er gewusst hat, dass er was falsch gemacht hat und hat gedacht, wenn ich jetzt komme, wird Krishna wahrscheinlich mir nicht vergeben. Aber wenn ich jemand mitbringe, und wem hat er mitgebracht? Die Surabhi-Kuh. Die hat er mitgebracht, weil er wusste, wenn Krishna eine Surabhi-Kuh sieht, dann ist er sofort zufrieden. So, ich merke mir das, wenn meine Frau wieder mal mit mir, ich hole mir einfach eine Kuh mit nach Hause. Wo ist sie? Ah. Okay. Und dann, wem hat er noch mitgebracht? Airavata, genau, sein Elefant. Und die Surabhi-Kuh hat eine Abhishekam mit Milch gemacht und Airavata mit Wasser, mit seinem Rüssel. Ne? Und so ist der Surabhi-Kund entstanden und Govinda-Kund, genau. Und das ist jetzt unsere Meditation, dass wir jetzt Krishna eine Abhishek darbringen und ihn damit versuchen zufriedenzustellen und dass wir einfach um seine Gnade bitten, dass wenn immer wir Schutz brauchen, wir Schutz unter seinen Lotusfüßen erfinden, die manchmal so die Form eines großen Hügels annehmen. So in diesem Sinne würde ich bitten, dass wir jetzt unseren Darshan haben. Schaut genau hin, es sind heute wirklich, wie gesagt, ganz spezielle Gäste heute noch da. Die sind zum ersten Mal da und werden einen ewigen Einzug halten im Hause der Familie Simha. Simhatoshani, Priyagita, Advaita. Ja, so, und ich würde gerne bitten, unseren Ehrengast, seine Heiligkeit Bhakti Bhushan Swami, die Abhishek zu eröffnen. Und dann hat jeder heute was ganz anderes, weil normalerweise machen das immer die Priester, die Abhishek machen. Auch heute sehen selbst die Priester ganz leger und gelassen aus. So, jeder kann kommen heute und kann Giriraj mit Milch baden. Aber erst nachdem Bhakti Bhushan Swami gebaden hat. Und dann natürlich unsere anderen Senioren, wie haben wir auch unseren Akila Prabhu hier. Akila Prabhu ki Jai! Und wir haben Narahari ist hier, Narahari Mataji ki Jai! Suchita Mataji ki Jai! Nandi Mukhi Mataji ki Jai! Govinda Dev Prabhu ki Jai! Go Premanande! Adi Adivo! Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Kirtan! 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 Jai Jai Shri Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai! Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai! Bol Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai!
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Actually, wherever you want. You have no table. You have to go there.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Govardhan ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So now we will have the Krishna Katha by Ananda Krishna Prabhu. Haribo. So we'll set up the Vyasa here while we clean up there. And should we do it in English? English, Deutsch, Who doesn't speak German? Wer versteht kein Englisch? Okay. So we'll do English. So don't hesitate to come a little bit closer.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajachanaranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajachanaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajachanarangana Yashoda Nandana Brajachanarangana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So welcome to the lecture about the today's occasion of Govardhan Puja. Before I start, I would like to definitely ask blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, especially my spiritual master who is kindly attending to, so I hope I have his blessings to speak something valuable for the today's occasion. And also I ask for blessings of Akila Prabhu, our senior Vaishnava in the community, and all your blessings. Normally I'm not nervous to speak, but in such a situation it's a bit different. So before I start, I kindly ask all the parents who have children here who are a bit louder to get them where they are more happy than to attend the lecture. Very often even adult devotees are not so happy in the lecture, so we can imagine how children are doing. Thank you very much. So Hare Krishna. Today is Govardhan Puja. Today is the occasion of the occasion when Krishna, who descended 5,000 years ago on this earth, displayed his pastimes. And why did he display his pastimes? To attract the conditioned souls towards him. And he was so kind that he was not only speaking philosophy like in Bhagavad Gita, he was even showing his spiritual world. He showed the spiritual world. He came with all his attendants, all his devotees, all his servants, and displayed his most glorious pastimes in Vrindavan. And we are now in the month of Kartik, which is in the light of Vrindavan, so to say. It's a month where a Leela of Krishna, a Damodar Leela, is glorified, and inside this month of Kartik, there's also the Govardhan Puja Leela happening. And this happened today when Krishna was here 5,000 years ago. Actually, it happened, as it said, this sounds a little bit too much. I don't know. It's okay. It happened the day after Diwali. On the Diwali day, on Diwali day, Mother Yashoda was binding Krishna. This was the day when Krishna was bound, on Diwali day. And on this day, she could not, she had no servants in household because everyone was engaged in Diwali celebration and in preparation for the Indra Puja. When Krishna was here, before Krishna showed his Leela, actually it was Indra's Puja, which was done every year, guided by Nanda Maharaj, the leader of the Vrindavan community, and it was a special ceremony by the Brijvasis to worship Indra, to get blessings of him, because they are Vaishyas. And Vaishyas, as we know, are farmers. Actually, the Vaishyas have, Vaishyas have four duties or occupations. One is agriculture. They produce the food for the population. Then they protect the cows. Another one is trading, general trade, and banking, Prabhupada, and banking. These are the duties of the Vaishyas. So there are different kinds of Vaishyas who have different duties. Not every Vaishya community does all of these duties. So Krishna appeared in a Vaishya community which are concerned with cow protection. And in order to take care of the cows, they need grass. As we know, the cows, they need grass, and they want to have fresh grass. And grass grows when there is sufficient rain. And so the cows are happy. So every year, this puja is happening. So on this day, there was preparation. All the devotees in Vrindavan were engaged in preparation, especially to cook, to get the brahmanas who were chanting mantras, to get all the articles, to get all the paraphernalia. And Krishna was observing that as a small boy. Krishna was still a small boy. He was observing that, and all-knowing as he is, he wanted to make a point. He wanted to teach all of us, but also Indra, especially Indra. So he went to Nanda Maharaj and inquired, "My dear father, what's going on here? What is all the commotion? What are you doing?" And Krishna was very small boy. So Nanda Maharaj seemed to not take him so serious. So he more or less said, it's no matter of concern for small children. He thought, how can I explain to him about yagya and demigods and all that? How can he know that? But Krishna was kind of persisting. No, my dear father, please let me know what's going on. I want to know that. And Krishna very intelligently asked, is this something what is in Shastra? Or is it just some custom? And the father actually explained, then thought, okay, I have to satisfy him. He wants to know. Actually, Krishna made a whole argument, why he should know that. And he said, my dear father, I'm a family member, and a friend. I should be satisfied. I'm not the enemy. And so please explain to me that. So Nanda Maharaj said, okay, I will explain to you. He gave him some explanation. And then Krishna was not satisfied and said, okay, it's more or less just a village practice. It's not in Shastra. And then he gave an argument. And Prabhupada explains in the Krishna book, which is the prime source of this information, of this Leela. The Krishna book is very special because there Prabhupada explained Krishna Leela in an understandable way, especially for every one of us, but also for new devotees. And Prabhupada took this information, of course, from the Srimad Bhagavatam. But these chapters of the Bhagavatam, he was not translating. Prabhupada translated until up to the 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And later chapters were then translated by his disciples. So when we want to have these informations from the Bhagavatam, we take the Bhagavatam translated by disciples of Prabhupada. And then there are commentaries to this Bhagavatam by our acharyas like Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who give even more information about the Leela. And then other presentations, books you can say separate from the Bhagavatam, by the acharyas who give even more information about this Leela. So there are so many details to that, especially from Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami and Ananda Vrindavan Champu by Kavi Karnapur, who give so many details that actually the whole Leela can be discussed in many hours. So I will give kind of an overview and a couple of details I will give. But if you want to know more about this Leela, I can highly recommend a seminar by His Holiness Indradyumna Swami, who has a seminar consisting of, I think, about 10 videos only about Govardhan Leela, with so many details, so amazing, to absorb ourselves in this pastime. So Krishna, and Prabhupada explains that in the Krishna book, that Krishna gave an argument of karma mimamsa. There are 6 kinds of philosophies called shadarshanas. And one among them is called karma mimamsa philosophy. And karma mimamsa philosophy, Prabhupada explains, says that more or less karma is the supreme, and if you know how to deal with karma, you can fulfill all your desires. So Krishna was preaching karma philosophy, karma mimamsa philosophy to Nanda Maharaj to justify the worship of Govardhan. Because Nanda Maharaj said, we worship Indra. Every year we do that because Indra is, of course, the god of the rain, and he will give rain so that the grass grows, the cows can eat the grass, then we have nice milk. From milk we can make so many wonderful preparations, and all our well-being comes from that. So Indra, he's the first cause in this reaction, in this chain reaction, so to say. So we go to the cause. Indra is the cause. And then Krishna said, no, yeah, might be, but actually Indra has to oblige when we do the right duty, when we do the right thing. All the demigods, they have to oblige. So actually karma is higher than the demigods. The demigods cannot act outside the jurisdiction of karma. So we should actually not care so much about Indra. We should just do our duty. And our duty as Vaishyas is to take care of the cows, take care of the land. And the prime source of, or the prime land is Govardhan Hill. From Govardhan Hill, all our riches come. There the cows feed on the wonderful grass and they are protected. So actually we should worship Govardhan Hill. And Krishna also gave, this was then from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, which gives an interesting argumentation where Krishna says, and actually it's not Indra who is giving the rain. Why is Indra's not giving the rain? The sun makes the water evaporize, it grows into the clouds, and then the clouds give the water. So it's not Indra. And Krishna says, what does Indra have to do with that? Quite an atheistic argument. Because atheists also say there are no gods, this is just nature, the laws of nature at work. And so Krishna gave an argument kind of like that. And Nanda Maharaj was not really convinced, but then he accepted and said, okay, you are right, I will follow your advice. He made a proclamation to all the devotees, all the cowherd men and cowherd women who were already happily engaged in preparing for the Indra Puja, like every year, like we have every year here, our Chaturdashi festival. And there are certain things which have to be followed, certain things which are done, certain customs. This is kind of a tradition. And if suddenly some authority comes and says, no, this year we do something completely different, everyone will be quite shocked. Why should we do something different? This is the day where we do that and that. So Krishna, or actually Nanda Maharaj, he shocked everyone. Change of plan, Programmänderung. We do something different. What different? We are worshipping Indra. No, my son Krishna had a very good idea. He's so smart, a very good idea. He convinced Nanda Maharaj. We will worship this year, not Indra. He gets his worship every year. He's satisfied. We will worship Govardhan Hill. And everyone goes, yeah, okay, no problem. Let's worship Govardhan Hill. Haribol. And Krishna explained how to do that in detail. And he said, first, we cook many preparations. Govardhan Hill has a big belly and he is very hungry. And this is the first thing we do. We cook huge amounts of preparations for him. And Prabhupada in Krishna book gives a long list of all kinds of delicious foodstuffs, what we are cooking all the time. All kinds of sweets especially, and all kinds of grain and milk dishes. So we are doing that, we cook, we make a circumambulation of Govardhan Hill, which was done then in a procession, in a Harinam style. They were singing and dancing, and thousands of devotees came. And in Brahma Vaivarta Purana is even said that all the rishis came, even Vyasadev and all the list of rishis, what is natural. In the Bhagavatam you have it also on many occasions. Then there's this whole list of Chyavanna and Durvasa and all these famous sages from the Puranas. They all came. So that was the first thing. They made this circumambulation. Everyone was dressed in a very fancy style to celebrate, and they were going in procession. The cows were going along, and they played wonderful music, and they were celebrating this occasion. And then they came to the place which is now known as Anior, and there they had a stop, and there they made the offering of all these preparations, and they offered all this bhoga to Govardhan Hill. And then Krishna took on the form of Govardhan Hill. And it's a little bit peculiar how he did it. Sometimes it's said he appeared on the hill in a gigantic form. Sometimes it said the hill himself became alive and took on a form, and Krishna was the hill. And he manifested thousands of arms, actually. And they offered all that bhoga to Govardhan hill, who was very, very, very happy to get all that bhoga. And they had huge piles of prasadam, or bhoga. Huge piles. Mountains of rice. And he ate everything. And then it said he ate everything, there was nothing left, and he extended his arms, and they went into the houses of the cowherd men and women, and he took out all kinds of things what he could eat. He was so happy. And this is where he said, Aniyor, Aniyor, which means give me more, give me more. Yeah, he was not easily satisfied. So, in the meantime, Indra was waiting for his yagya, or the puja, his worship. Somehow or other, he was, expecting the wonderful celebration which was happening every year. And so nothing is happening. Silent. Dead silence. Nothing happening. Nobody's calling me. No one gives me anything. Is the wrong date or what's going on? Am I wrong? No, it's the right date. It's my day. Indra Puja day. Indra Puja. But nothing happening. So he sent his servants to look what's going on. And they went to Vrindavan and saw they are worshipping the hill. And they come, Indra, our Lord, our wonderful Lord, we have to inform you that they are not worshipping you this year, they are worshipping the hill in their village. And Indra was outraged. He was not happy. He was not detached. He was becoming so angry that he sent the Sangvartaka clouds to Vrindavan to destroy the whole village. So the Samvartaka clouds are normally active when the universe is getting destroyed. They are producing huge amounts of water which dissolve the universe in the end of the day of Brahma. Water can dissolve anything in time. It's even said there are raindrops as big as elephant trunks falling and destroying the whole land, dissolving the matter of the earth. So he was so angry, so he sent for these clouds to destroy Vrindavan, and he really wanted to destroy Vrindavan. He wanted to kill everyone. Quite shocking, because we know Indra is actually a devotee. But somehow or other, he was so proud and so attached. And probably the gods at times, they don't think very highly of humans. For them, humans are like nothing. Like when we plow the field, how can you take care of all the ants and all the slugs and all that? If our gardener would have to protect any insect when he drives his tractor, that would be impossible. How can he work? So, Hare Krishna plows the field and killing all kinds of living entities. And demigods are huge. Of course, we are not animals. And humans are more like demigods than animals are humans. Definitely. We are more sentient beings. But at the same time, we are, in one sense, insignificant. Martya Loka. When Bhagavad Gita calls the earth Martya Loka, the place of death. Because we are dying very quickly. Our lifespan is very short. So Indra didn't take us so serious. Destroy everyone, kill everyone. And he didn't know that this is Vrindavan and there's Krishna and all that. So just some humans. Just some humans. Get rid of them. No problem. The nature, when there's a tsunami, sometimes thousands of people are killed in one moment. Or some avalanche or some drought, then powers of nature can destroy humans on a huge scale. So he said, just kill them. They are not worthy of existence if they don't worship me. if they are so offensive? How dare they? And this is also, of course, what Krishna will speak then later to him, why he was doing all that. Because Indra is a devotee, and Krishna loves his devotees, even if they are completely off. This shows Krishna's mercy. He was completely off, and Krishna wanted to correct him, actually, with the whole situation. He wanted to correct him. Because pride makes us so cruel, can make us cruel. When we are proud, we think so highly of ourselves that we think we are better than anyone else, and I can treat anyone as I like. And this is very bad, especially in this devotee situation and in the association of devotees. Pride is very dangerous. And pride, we know also from Bhagavatam that Krishna taught us that through the story of the gopis when they become proud. And Krishna immediately disappeared. So we can think for ourselves, okay, maybe, or I think for myself, why is Krishna not more present in my life? Because I'm too proud. And then I think, oh, this is a nice expression of humility. Yes, I admit, I'm proud. No, it's not an expression of humility, it's a fact. But pride situated in the false ego is hard to detect. So it's good sometimes to detect their own weakness and own limitation, to become more realistic and humble through that. But if we are not, in German it is said, wer nicht hören will, muss fühlen. If you don't want to hear, you have to feel. So it seems Indra it was not possible for him to hear, to understand the lesson. So Krishna had to correct him. And Krishna does that with us also. So if you don't want to go the hard path, the painful path, better to hear and learn from the advanced devotees who are humble and not proud at all. Yeah. So Indra was so proud that he wanted to kill the whole Vrindavan. It said he wanted to kill them. These clouds, he didn't just want to scare them a bit. Okay, send some rain and they will be scared and then they worship me. No, kill them. These clouds produce such heavy rainfall, such devastation, it destroys everything. So after this extremely happy situation of the Govardhan Puja, first time celebrated and everyone was ecstatic, Krishna was in their midst and they saw so many wonders. When Govardhan took on this form, they were amazed but not afraid because Krishna was there. Krishna was guiding the whole puja, so they felt happy and protected. They saw this wonder. They were together. It was a festival. There was singing, dancing, prasadam. Everything was there. Everyone was ecstatic, and suddenly this huge change of the mood of the situation when these clouds came. Before the clouds came, the sky became dark. It got a bit windy. It became cold, and suddenly the storm came. And it became bigger and bigger and bigger. It became so big that he could not understand when will it end, when is it over. It became strong and strong, and it was so heavy and also cold that the devotees ran to Krishna. And also, especially the cows went to Krishna with their calves. And they were shivering because it was so cold. When is it cold in Vrindavan? Vrindavan is an extremely hot place, as we know. And as we heard, I heard Govardhan, especially Govardhan, is one of the hottest places in the world. I don't know, maybe some Indians told me that's the hottest place in the whole world. Well, but it's true, it sometimes gets almost 60 degrees. They said, once we had almost 60 degrees. I thought, really amazing. So it's close to the desert, huh? It's close to Rajasthan. So, but there, temperature changed and they were shivering, it was cold, and they took shelter of Krishna. So Krishna now did, of course, the wonderful thing. And this is chapter 24, the 24th chapter in the Bhagavatam. So Krishna until then did already many wonders. And he protected the devotees. But still it was not it was always after Krishna did some wonder, it was some, yeah, Vishnu did it and there was some special arrangement. Nobody could really prove that Krishna did it and Krishna is superhuman. It was always somehow, even when Mother Yashoda saw the universal form, she rationalized it, maybe it was something different and Krishna put Yoga Maya on her, but in this situation it was then obvious that Krishna is not just some boy from the village. So they took shelter of Krishna, can you help us? And Krishna said, okay. He ran from his porch to Govardhan and he lifted him, and as far as understood in Indradyumna Maharaj's lecture, he said in the middle at Manasaganga, where Manasaganga is, there is where he lifted the Govardhan hill. Manasaganga is also the place where Sanatana Goswami had his bhajan kutir and where he left actually his body. So it's a very special place, Manasaganga. Big kunda, as we say, right? In the middle of Govardhan, kind of the middle, yeah. So Krishna mystically and amazingly, he could have done so many other things. He could have blocked the sky or something. Once Krishna, he blocked the sun or took the sun away from the sky to protect Arjuna on the battlefield. Or he could have done anything. He is unlimited in his possibilities, but he chose to lift Govardhan hill, which wasn't done before. So Krishna lifts Govardhan hill, and not like, actually Prabhupada in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita gives the example when Krishna speaks about him maintaining the universe, maintaining the earth, that he is not like Atlas. Prabhupada says the Atlas, the god of the Greek who is carrying the earth on his shoulders and he's really struggling hard to carry the globe on his back. When Prabhupada says Krishna is not like that. He does the same but with no, strength needed. He has mystical power, he has unlimited strength. And in this situation he showed that, and he lifted Govardhan hill with the, from our point of view, weakest body part, so to say, or the weakest part of our hands, with the left pinky, from the left hand, the pinky from the left hand, which is the weakest finger, to show, for me, no problem. I can do anything I like. And this is also when Mother Yashoda, she was worried actually. She was not, okay, Krishna is Supreme Lord, just lift the hill and we jump under the hill and everything is good. She's in Vatsalya Rati. The relationship is called Rati, and this produces rasa, flavor, the experience of motherhood. So she was worried, how can my small boy, Krishna, lift a hill? And what if he slips or something terrible happens? She was not, she was in motherly sorrow or worries. So I have to see, because I made some notes on that, but it was in German. So she said, don't do it. This hill is way too heavy for you. And then Krishna said to the others, because the others, they might have also argued like that, Krishna, don't do it, this hill is too heavy. And then he said, don't listen to my mother. She thinks that Govardhan can slip out of my hand, but don't worry, everything is secure. So by Krishna's words, the devotees were encouraged and all ran under the hill. And later when Krishna was holding the hill and he saw Radharani, he began to shake a bit, because he was distracted by Radharani's beauty. And then the Vrajavasis thought, oh, Mother Yashoda was right. She was right. It's probably too heavy for him. So Krishna said, oh, okay, I have to, to take this more serious, that the devotees are not worried. So, and the storm outside was so terrible, but inside, and it was not just under the hill, it was really inside, there was no noise. Because Krishna made, actually I will come to that later. One other point was made. How high was he lifting the hill? And then Shastra said 1 thala high. And what is 1 thala? 1 thala is the height of a coconut tree. Right? You have Talavan, where Krishna killed Dhenukasura. So the thala is the height of a coconut tree. So this was how high Krishna lifted the hill. Because he was standing on a crystal slab or crystal stone, and he has medium size, so his feet were at the height of the shoulders of the man from Vrindavan. So he stood kind of high, holding the hill. But I wonder how he held the hill then so high, but this is what this was said. And then Krishna said, when they were warring, you have seen that Govardhan is not a normal mountain. Before, he was eating all our offerings. Actually, he's a transcendentalist. He's a mystic yogi. And he can make himself very light as a butterfly. So don't worry, he will not fall down. It's I don't need much strength to hold him up. And as we know, he was standing 7 days like that. 7 days and nights he was standing like this. And now we might think, but how was it for the devotees to stand in this, when you dig a bit, you have all the worms and you have the stones and the earth. Doesn't seem very cozy to stay for 7 days in like a cave or a hole in the earth, right? 7 days you stand. Okay, with Krishna might be different, but Krishna was not just accommodating devotees with his presence, he was also manifesting an subterranean heavenly world. So when the devotees came under this mountain, it said there were crystal staircases going down into an heavenly valley. This is how Maharaj explained it in this seminar. And he quotes from Kavi Kanapur and Jiva Goswami, who give this detail. He was a valley with all kinds of beautiful things. It was very soft. It was made of crystals, but they were kind of soft. It was not hard. And there was no atmosphere of this terrible weather from outside. And the area was divided for the men, for the women, for the children. So everyone had his area and was happily living there. And Krishna was standing 7 days. And what is very special in this pastime, that normally every kind of devotee in Vrindavan has association with Krishna at a certain time and in a certain situation. In the morning and in the evening, Mother Yashoda has association with Krishna because she wakes him up, she makes breakfast, and at night she puts him to sleep. It's said that Krishna gets, before he goes to sleep, he gets some sweet rice. Directly before he goes to sleep. Mother Yashoda comes with sweet rice. And Krishna thinks, I am actually not hungry. How can I eat now? But my mother, with so much love, gives me the sweet rice. So he eats everything. Doesn't leave a morsel. Oh, thank you, Mother. It was so tasty. Mother Yashoda is the perfect example of a devotee. And in the Bhagavatam or in the Krishna book, the first pastimes are all concerning Mother Yashoda until Damodar Leela. And from then, Krishna gets into an age where the Sakhas, his friends, take over. And then you have all the pastimes in Sakyarasa or Sakyarati. And then Madhurya-rati comes. So the Bhagavatam in Vrindavan is divided according to these relationships. And after this, Krishna leaves Vrindavan. And Prabhupada explains in the Krishna book, or actually in the Bhagavatam, because this Prabhupada was still translating the 9th chapter of the Bhagavatam. He said, when there was the description of Mother Yashoda churning it seems she churned yogurt to butter. I don't know how it technically works, but it said dahi or dadhi, and Prabhupada says it's yogurt. So anyway, she was churning the butter, and then the Bhagavatam goes into a very beautiful, detailed, elaborate description of her doing that and how she looked, that she was very beautiful, had nice hair, she had flowers in her hair, beautiful sari, and that she was singing about Krishna in deep love and remembrance of her son. And Prabhupada in the purport explains, if someone strives for Vatsalya Rasa, he should meditate on this situation. This verse is for devotee who is inspired by Mother Yashoda's love towards Krishna. We can meditate on that. So, and what is interesting when we read the Bhagavatam about Mother Yashoda, that her love is so pure and strong and everlasting. And this can help us to get a glimpse of what it means to love Krishna. What means love to Krishna. She has pure love towards Krishna. And so we can get some glimpse of what it is and how my spiritual life could also develop in this direction. How can I love Krishna? My love to Krishna is nothing, zero. But so these devotees can inspire us to become Krishna conscious. So that's why we should hear about their pastimes and we should hear about their love towards Krishna. So Mother Yashoda was all the time worrying about Krishna in this situation, and then it said once she was in these 7 days, she was worrying, oh, maybe he's tired or hungry, or maybe his hand might get tired. And then Krishna knew that, oh, my mother is a little bit worried again. And he looked at her and he made some funny faces towards her to lighten up the situation. He said, oh, okay, he's well. Everything is good. so empathic. You know? So the speciality of this Leela is that Krishna, that normally devotees, they have only certain times. As I said, Mother Yashoda, night, evening and morning, or Vormittag, pre-noon. Then the afternoon is all the time of the Gopas, when Krishna is out in the fields, in the woods, and playing and herding cows. And then nighttime is actually time where the Gopis have association with him. But in this Leela of Govardhan Puja, 7 days and nights, all the devotees at the same time could be with Krishna. And this is where the acharyas say this is unique. This is a unique pastime. It never happened before. That all of the devotees can be at the same time together with Krishna and observe his beauty. And there are so many details with what happened and so many interesting informations. And a couple of points I want to give, and then So when this weather was raging outside, it said the color of Krishna is, as we know, it's the color of a dark monsoon cloud. And actually it was the same color as the clouds, as the Samvartaka clouds. The same color, but with a different result. Krishna's color, bodily color, is very pleasing, but the color of these rain clouds was very troublesome. And Krishna's voice has the same power as the thunder of this weather. But again, his voice is very pleasing and satisfying, and the thunder is very, again, creates a lot of fear. And another similarity, Krishna's dhoti has the color of flashes, right? These flashes were in the sky, and they had the same color as Krishna's dhoti. But Krishna's dhoti and the color of his dhoti, that gives the feeling of protection, whereas the flashes of this weather created a feeling of danger. So the acharyas give this poetic explanation of this situation and the difference. But even though this weather was so terrible, the devotees were completely protected. And this is something what a devotee should learn and accept, as we know from Nectar of Devotion, where it said that devotee should feel always protected by the Lord. And sometimes I think that's kind of egoistic, right? We shouldn't take protection. We should not use Krishna for protection, but actually Krishna wants that. Actually, it's glorifying Krishna if we have trust in him that he can protect us. If a friend of you If you say, I can help you, no problem, I can do that. And he says, I don't know if you really can do that or should do that, or no, oh, you can help me, that's wonderful. I can surrender actually. So Krishna wants us to surrender and wants us to feel his protection, and he wants to protect us. And there are so many statements in Shastra where Krishna confirms that. Kaunteya pratichanihi name bhakta pranashyati. And Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigachati kaunteya pratichanihi name bhakta pranashyati. 9:31, right? Where Krishna says, very soon he will become righteous. He become dharma atma. His self will become righteous again. He will be dharmic again. And he will attain peace. Shanti. Declare boldly, O Arjuna, that my devotee will never perish. Krishna wants to give protection. And this is what he shows in Vrindavan over and over again. There are so many dangers coming all the time. Demons come, most of the time demons, but now even demigods come. Demons and demigods come and make trouble. And Krishna always protected the devotees. So then it's also said that Krishna created or manifested his Sudarshan chakra at some time to evaporize all the water on Govardhan hill, and the Sudarshan chakra was flying around Govardhan hill, evaporizing all the water, so that actually no danger could harm also the animals on the hill. So on the hill, down the hill, everywhere was a peaceful situation. So, okay, so 7 days the weather was raging, and Indra was not successful. He could not do anything. And in the meantime, he sent a messenger to look what's going on. Is it done? Are they all dead now? He really was into it. I want to kill them. And he sent a messenger. The messenger came, and there was still the cloud and the weather. He couldn't see anything. And he went back and said, Indra, I couldn't see anyone. It's full devastation. The whole land is destroyed. Just this hill is still standing there. And Indra said, oh, very good. So it's done. But then he was a bit doubtful and said, but check again all the details. I really want to see if they are dead. I really quote now Indra Dyumna Maharaj. He said it like this, if they are dead, how to think about the inhabitants of Vrindavan this way. It's quite terrible, but Indra was quite terrible. So this messenger went again down there, and he went under the hill, and suddenly he saw this subterranean world, which is said was more beautiful than Sutala Loka. Sutala Loka is one of the lower planetary systems, the lower worlds. And we might think, but it must be terrible there. No, actually they are called Bilasvarga. In the Bhagavatam they're called Bilasvarga. There are 3 kinds of svargas. There is Devasvarga, there's some Bhumi Svarga, and there's Bilasvarga. Heavenly planets up there, the higher worlds. The heavenly realms on Bhumandala, not on our island, not on our dvipa, but on other dvipas further away. They are heavenly worlds, where people live long and can enjoy and are very strong and all that. And Bilasvarga. Bila means something like imitation. Imitational heavenly worlds. And if someone goes down there, he's not suffering. Let's say he's not materially suffering. Material, there is everything what you can wish for. There's one world controlled by Maya Danava, who is, it said, he's the architect of the demons. There's the architect of the demigods, Vishvakarma, and there's the architect of the demons called Mayadanva. But he's not just an architect. It's not that he just plans the houses, like architect, right? Plans the houses, how's the static, how should it look like? Huh? He's more, it's also said, like a black magician who can create with his power all kinds of wonders. And he's also an technological magician, actually. He can create flying objects. He can create all kinds of technical things. So all that what we have here, these technological advances, they are inspired by Maya Danava. They have iPhone 10,008, not just 14 or something. They are way ahead of everything. They have most incredible technological stuff. This thing 30, 40, 50 years ago, this was unimaginable that something like this can work. When they invented computers, they needed, like, it was a whole box which had maybe, I don't know, a couple of megabyte fast or what, I don't know. It was very, very slow actually. Now you can have this, what needed a whole skyscraper of a computer 30 years ago. So it's incredible how technology advanced. And 30 years ago, people could not imagine that. So we cannot imagine what kind of technological stuff they have there. Bhagavatam gives some glimpses. They have some kind of crystal technology. And I spoke once with a devotee scientist. He says, yeah, we are researching crystal technology, actually. How to store information in crystals. So there are some possibilities of amazing technology. So this servant of Indra, he came and he saw suddenly this heavenly world, and he saw the devotees are all nice and nothing happening. They are all happy, they're ecstatic, and Indra is doing everything uselessly. And then he saw how Krishna is standing in the middle, and how the devotees were serving Krishna, loving Krishna. And Mother Yashoda was so worried. Please, Krishna, eat something. You haven't eaten in such a long time. The grumbling of your stomach is louder than the thunder of this weather. You have to eat something. And then and Krishna was actually at that time playing. One hand he was holding the hill, with the other hand he was playing a flute. It was very beautiful, but at the same time, Mother Yashoda was worried about him. And this messenger of Indra saw that. And then Subal, one of Krishna's cowherd boys, he came, took the flute out of Krishna's hand and mouth and put some ladus in his mouth. And Mother Yashoda was very happy. And this messenger saw that, and in this moment he changed. And he became a devotee. He was converted. And he said, oh, this is so wonderful. And then he realized, what are we doing here? We want to kill all of these wonderful people and this Krishna. And he went back to Indra. And Indra said, so what's going on? And he explained, they are happy, it's ecstatic, it's cool there, it's wonderful. And Indra was not, oh really, okay, let me go down there and yeah, it's wonderful. No, he said, oh, then I have to take matters in my own hands. And he sent some heavy flash thunderbolts down there and tried to smash everything. And he became exhausted and didn't work. And then he took his Vajra, his most powerful weapon. And even that failed. So more and more and more he became exhausted. And then Indradyumna Maharaj in this lecture, he said, and then Krishna, when he wanted to send his Vajra, actually Krishna said, okay, now it's enough. Now it's enough. And in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it said Krishna paralyzed Indra. And he couldn't move. He wanted to, actually now remember, he wanted to throw this Vajra, but he could not move. And Krishna put him into kind of a trance and gave him darshan, where he saw, oh, what am I doing? And he completely changed, and he came to his senses. And then he spoke a long prayer. There's a long prayer, a mantra, which he learned actually from his guru, Brihaspati. Before he went into battle against Ritasura, he gave him some mantra. And he glorified Krishna in a wonderful way. So Krishna dissolved the whole situation. The weather was gone. Everything was over. The devotees could go out. The Bhagavatam more or less gives everything in a very shortened way. So the acharyas give all these details. The Bhagavatam is kind of like the main, like the main structure, which is then filled by the acharyas. So Krishna dissolved the whole weather. Everyone could come out. The sun was shining. The birds were singing. Everything was as before. Krishna manifested everything as before. And he said the devotees in Bhagavatam, he said they took all their valuables, which they put under the hill for protection. The cows came out. Everything was beautiful. And Krishna very softly, very slowly put, with this hand of course, put Govardhan hill exactly where it was. So there was no sign that Govardhan hill was moved, but exactly at the same spot. And everyone was happy and protected. So after this incident, the next chapter in the Bhagavatam is called Wonderful Krishna. Because then after the whole scene, the devotees were so amazed by what they saw. 7 days, it was the greatest wonder. And it went to Nanda Maharaj and said, Nanda Maharaj, this is not normal. Who is this Krishna? He did this and that, this and that. And it's a very beautiful chapter in the Krishna book, Wonderful Krishna. This is where they poured out their heart to Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Maharaj explained, he's my son, but I remember Garga Muni, when he gave him his name, when his Namkarana was happening, he said, he's special. He comes in different ages, in different colors and all that. In lives before, he was the son of Vasudev. That's the reason why it's called Vasudev, the all-pervading one. But the inhabitants of Vrindavan, their mood is in Madhurya, as we know. So they take him as one of theirs. But at times they realize, no, he is very different. So and after this, Indra comes personally and excuses himself. It's a very nice prayers he speaks of regret. He understands, I did the most terrible thing I can do. I wanted to kill the devotees. I wanted to kill the whole Vrindavan. And he was very remorseful. And he was not sure if Krishna will be heavy with him and punish him, because then he understood Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. I was messing with the Supreme Lord. And maybe he will kill me. What would you do if someone wants to kill your friends, your children, your cows, your animals, your village, everyone you love, and someone wants to kill them? If you can, you will kill him. In Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says you can kill some attacker. Someone wants to burn your house, you can kill him. Someone wants to kidnap your wife, you can kill him. If he wants to steal your valuables, you can kill him. There's no karma involved. So Indra was very worried. Very worried. What will happen now? But I have to go to him. I have to excuse myself. What can I do? So to make sure, this was the only thing he could think of, what was kind of smart, he brought a cow. Because Krishna is very pleased by the cows. The Surabhi cow from the heavenly planet. With a calf also. And Krishna showed himself from the most magnanimous, merciful, compassionate, empathic side you can imagine. Because he was very relaxed. And he was so kind to Indra. I said, yeah, Indra, I did all that because he stopped the Indra Puja, right? Krishna started it. I did all that because you are my devotee. But you became proud. And I don't like it when you're proud. And I corrected you. Before that, Indra spoke many wonderful prayers and verses, excused himself, but then Krishna spoke very directly and plainly. I said, but don't worry, everything is well. Everything is good. I forgive you. Krishna forgives. So this is also something what we can learn to forgive, even if something terrible happened. Because if you hold a grudge, if you don't forgive, you are not doing any good to the person or to yourself actually. So this is one of the beauties and the wonderful qualities of devotees and of brahmanas. It's one of the beautiful signs of a brahmana that he is forgiving. It's very difficult at times, of course, especially if someone hurt us or did something harm to us, or right? I think everyone knows someone. Maybe some of you still are mad with someone and you cannot forgive. No, I don't like him. I hate him. I hate her. He or she did that to me. I will never forgive. But we have to let go. We have to forgive. So this is one of the many morals actually of the story. And I want to end with 2-3 points. One point, a verse Maharaj quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Antya Lila 1, Antya Lila, chapter 1, verse 195. I have the Sanskrit here. Interesting, it's in Sanskrit, yeah. Kim kavyena kavestasya kim kandena danusmata parasya hridaye lagnam na gunayati yach chiraha. And it's a verse concerning the poetry of our Shastra. And it said, what is the use of a bowman's arrow or a poet's poetry if they penetrate the heart but do not cause the head to spin? So poetry should definitely touch the heart, especially Krishna conscious poetry and literature. But at the same time, it should make us wonder, make us think, amaze us at the same time. So what is the use of a bowman's arrow or a poet's poetry if they penetrate the heart but do not cause the head to spin? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 1, 195. And then we had today in the morning a question by Akila Prabhu concerning the Govardhan hill. So is the Govardhan hill now Krishna or is a servant of Krishna? He's both. And it's very clear in this episode of the Bhagavatam. Krishna said, Krishna took on the form of Govardhan hill. He was the hill. He is the hill. The hill is the expansion of him. But at the same time, the Shastra glorifies the hill as the best of the servants. Maybe you heard this expression, Hari Dasa Varya. But where is this coming from? It's coming from the 10th canto, chapter 21, verse 28. This is the verse. Hantayam adrir abalahari dasa varyo. Here, Hari Dasa Varyo. Yat Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda. Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Paniya Suya Vasa Kandara Kanda Mulai. Translation. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. O my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram, along with their calves, cows, and cowherd friends, with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, calves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. It's a very beautiful verse. So, and then another, I have 2-3 minutes. So another interesting point concerning the worship of Govardhan. Because many devotees have Govardhan Shilas. So what is Prabhupada actually saying about that? And interesting enough, there is, it was in the 24th chapter of the Krishna book. Prabhupada explains in the end of the chapter, I will just paraphrase, but I can show the quote itself also, that in the Chaitanya tradition, it is to worship Govardhan hill. We do that. And then Prabhupada says, sometimes devotees may take some stones or pebbles from Govardhan and worship them. Prabhupada says it directly in the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book, concerning this pastime. The devotees may do that. And he makes it very uncomplicated because often we hear, Govardhan, Shila, you can only worship if someone gives the Shila to you. I think everyone heard that. You cannot just take. But Prabhupada says the devotees take from the hill, take a stone and worship him. So of course, we should discuss with our authorities. We should not run, okay, now we go to Govardhan, collect all the... No, we should not do this. Of course, we talk with devotees and seniors and our spiritual master. That just means Prabhupada mentioned that directly in the Krishna book, that this is something what devotees can do. And something else I noted here. Yeah, it's in the chapter 24, Govardhan Shila, about the Govardhan Shila. Something I wanted to say now for the end. Okay, it's anyway over. Yeah. Good, so we celebrate now a bit more. In Govardhan, we do our own Govardhan Puja. and we can remember Krishna lifting the hill. There are so many instructive points concerning that: his love, his protection, his forgiveness towards Indra, his mood towards his devotees. So it's a very important day. It's a wonderful festival, and it's it's a pastime which is never ending. We can always learn something new, and this is the nature of our Katha, that there's always something new, and we can always read, we can always study, we can always absorb ourselves. And this is the prime way how to become Krishna conscious, to hear about Krishna and chant his name. And especially to hear from our acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada, to hear about Krishna. And then it's very easy to become Krishna conscious and to become a real devotee. So we should use this chance, what is given through the gift of Prabhupada's books and the holy name, and become happily and easily Krishna conscious and follow the devotees in Vrindavan who celebrate this day in a very joyful way. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Are there any questions or points, something to add? Yeah, Ramananda Gopal Prabhu.
Just because Givraj is the servant of Krishna, when the same time he is Krishna,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting comparison to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
Because of the same
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah. Yes, the same constellation. Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord and he is the servant. Yeah. So there's no problem. Okay, something else? Yeah, Advaita.
The day of the Indra Puja was today, and then they had 1 week Govardhan Puja. Exactly on that day.
Yeah. In Shastra, yeah, exactly. It said that after Diwali, the day after Diwali was the Indra Puja. When you read in the Bhagavatam, it said like that. And on the day of Diwali was Damodar Lila.
Yeah.
This is there, yeah.
So after 1 week, Indra came with Surabhika.
Yeah, I don't know when the exact day was, but it seems 1 week Krishna was holding the hill, and after that, maybe you can look up in the Bhagavatam and find the exact date if this is there too. You know. But yeah, 7 days he hold.
We should 7 days actually celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 days of. Yeah. Okay, something more, or should we end now? I think. Gaurartik, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I wish you a wonderful festival. Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Premanande.
I need quickly 4 strong men who can carry the hill on this pillar. We have to turn it 90 degrees and put it on this pillar. Jai Jai Shri Shri Pala Lakshmi Shri Bhagavan Ki Jai. Jai. 4 strong men. Can you move the cooler?
गिरिराज महाराज की जय, कृष्ण बलराम की जय। Magst du singen? Magst du mit? Magst du singen? Singst du? Ja.
How we worship the singer.
Kiba Chayo, Chayo, Gora Chande, Arati Koshoba. Kiba Jaya, Jaya Gora Chande, Arati Koshoba. Jana Vitatavane Jaga Manaloba. Dakine Nitacha Bamikadatara
Ich glaube nicht.
Nikate Advaita Shri Vatsa Chatratara Advaita Shri Vatsa Chatratara Boshi Ache Goracha Rata Simhasa
Beatrice ist zu klein, das wird nicht gehen.
Boshi Ache Goracha Rata Simhasa Arati Korena Brahma Ati Devakane Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Dulaya Nara Adi Kori Chamara Dulaya Samjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadikaya Sam Shanka Pache Kanta Pache Pache Karatara Madhura Mridanga Bhaji Padamarasara
Tauschanbahn.
Shanka Pache Kanta Pache Madhur 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 Pache Shanka Pache Kanta Pache Madhur 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 Pache Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Bahukoti Chandra Chini Vadana Ujvala Galate Shivanamala Kore Janamara Deshevana Kore Janamara Shiva Shukanarada Primegada Gada Shiva Bhakati Vinodadite Gorara Sampada Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Shobha Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Shobha Jana Vitata Vani Jagamanaloba Gorange Arotik Shobha Jagajana Manaloba Gorange Arotik Shobha Jagajana Manaloba Range Arotik Shobha Aloba Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Go! Haribol, Nitai Gora, Nitai Gora, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol. Nitai Gora, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasana Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasana Gora Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gora Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha, Prahlad Nrsimha, Prahlad Nrsimha, Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha. Jaya Goranista, 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 Jaya Goranista. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Giriraj, 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 Giri Giri Maharaj. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Vivo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Ranga, Jai Giriraj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare. Jayo Giri Govardhan, Jayo Giri Govardhan. Jayo Giri Govardhan, Jayo Giri Govardhan. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki, Giriraj Maharaj ki, Gora Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtotra Shata Shishmadesi Bhaktiranta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtotra Shata Shishmadesi Bhaktiranta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Linda ki. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinata Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki. Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Shri Shri Prad Lakshmani Simhadi Bhagavan ki, Simhachalam Dham ki, Sankirtan Yagya ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Giriraj Maharaj ki. Go, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Nara Singhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. La la da la da da yine. La la da la da da yine. Hiranyakashi Parvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Parvakshaha. Shilajankana Kalaye. Shilajankana Kalaye. Itone Singha Paratone Singha. Itone Singha Paratone Singha. Yato yato yamita tone singha. Yato yato yamita tone singha. Bahine singha, ridayene singha. Bahine singha, ridayene singha. Nisingha madim sharanam prapadye. Nisingha madim sharanam prapadye. Nisingha madim sharanam prapadye. Nisingha madim sharanam prapadye. Avakara kamaravare nakamatuda shringa. Darita hiranya kashipu tanu pringa. Keshavadrita narahari rupa chaya chagadisha hare. Chaya chagadisha hare. Chaya chagadisha hare. Keshavadrita narahari rupa chaya chagadisha hare. Chaya chagadisha hare. Chaya chagadisha hare. China Singha, China Singha, Chaya China Singha. Baladesha Chaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringer. Chinese singer, Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chinese singer, Chaya, Chinese singer. Baladesha, Chaya, Padma, Mukha, Padma bringer. Chaya Nising Hadi, Chaya Nising Hadi, Chaya Nising Hadi, Chaya Nising Hadi. Chaya Prahlad Maharaj, Chaya Prahlad Maharaj, Chaya Prahlad Maharaj, Chaya Prahlad Maharaj. Chaya Prahlad Nisinga, Prahlad Nisinga, Prahlad Nisinga, Chaya Prahlad Nisinga. Prabhupada, 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 Chaya Chaya Prabhupada. Chaya Chaya Prabhupada, 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 Chaya Chaya Prabhupada. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaka Nisingare Bhagavan Ki Jai. Bhakta Shresha Balat Maharaj Ki Jai. Iskon Simhachalam Dham Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Yudhach Maharaj Ki. I waited the whole time. So, das geht gar nichts runter.
Machst du Blitzer? Die Stange. Balanciert.
Satchit Yashoda Deyalukalandavamana Param Hishtamadhyam Tato Drutya Gopya Chaubada Motyaiva Yatvat Kaya Mochi Chao Bhakti Chao Krita Tata Prema Bhaktin Sakam Me Prayacha Mokshe Krahome Sri Damodare Namaste Damne Spurati Damne Raya Karishwasarani Namorari Kayai Dariyai Priyayai Namoram Taliraya Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Goranga Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Goranga Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Goranga, Hare Go. Jai Giriraj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, Goranga, Hare Bo, Hare Bo. Hare Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Goranga, Hare Bo, Hare Bo. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Guru Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jai Giri Govardhan. Hare Bo. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jai Giri Govardhan. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Giri Govardhan ke, Nrsimha Bhagavan ke, Prahlad Maharaj ke, Srila Prabhupada ke, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Bol.
Govardhan Puja Mahamotsava ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Simhachalam Dham ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hari Bol. Mahaprasade Govinde. Namo Brahmani Vaishnave.
Namo Brahmani Vaishnave.
Svalpa Punyavatam Rajam. Vishwasanai Vijayate. Sharira Vidyajal.
Sharira Avidyajal.
Jotindriya Tahikal. Jive Pele Vishaya Sagore. Dharmadi Jivayati. Lobamoy Sudurmati. Takirta Kotina Samsare.
Krishna Boradhoyamoy Gauri Bari Jiva Jai Swaprasadana Dilobai Seyanam Amrita Pau Radha Krishna Guna Go Premida Ko Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nimai Jai Nitai Sri Mahaprasadam Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaura Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Shri Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Mahaprasadam Ki Jai.
One last announcement. Today, 10 years ago, I got married to the most beautiful girl in the world. Gopi Gita. Haribo! Thank you, Gopi Gita. Hare Krishna. Bol Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai!
The pujaris take your deities before they get
Oh yes,
swallowed.
don't eat.
Eaten.